mother, a daughter, a son. The threads of their lives are all raveling undone. Something is needed to twist them as tight as a string you might use when you're flying a kite. Chim chimney, chim chim, cherry chim cherry.
Hurry up, Jay! Let's run! Ow! Ow, God! Oh my goodness! Come back here, you little blighters! You've got to do your lessons!
You can't do our lessons if we're going to play. As you can't make us your only on nanny.
Oi! Not you two again! Come along home! Oi! Let's go!
Morning, Miss Lark. And how is little Willoughby today?
Well, thank you, Bert.
By Jove! Is that the beauteous Miss Lark I spy on the horizon?
Morning, Admiral. How's it looking?
Oh, dark clouds gathering to number 17. Storm warnings overdue.
London's byways where I dust me cap. This one's the artist to find on a map. Cherry Tree Lane, as sweet as a song. But the nannies who come here, they don't stay for long. Chim chimney, chim chim, cherry chim cherry.
Run away from me for the last time!
But who needs to help with the children when there's no nanny in the house? It's me, that's who!
I've had my say, Mrs. Quill, and that's all I'm going to say. I've done with this house forever!
Good riddance, then! Mind you, don't stumble on the way out!
Katie Nana, where are you going? Katie Nana!
Katie Nana's gone, and is it any wonder? Driven half demented by your children's praise?
Do you really think I made another blunder? What on earth am I to say to Mr. Banks? Oh, George, dear, I'm feeling so bereft, dear. Another nanny's left, dear. Every nanny goes. We're unlucky, I suppose.
We are never going to find the perfect nanny.
Nonsense! Precision and order, that's all that I ask. Running of the household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, they're all your domain, whilst I remain the sovereign of Cherry Tree Lane. Coat! The simple truth is you've engaged 6 nannies in the last 4 months. They've all been unqualified disasters. A nanny should govern, a nanny should rule. A nanny is a pedagogue who suffers no fool. A nanny is a stalwart our children would gain by having such a nanny in Cherry Tree Lane.
Cross, George.
So take control of the situation. Show your authority when interviewing staff. You know your role, they know the stations. Efficiency in full don't cut the job in half. Briefcase!
But I thought Katie Nana would be firm with the children. She always looks so cross.
Winifred, never confuse efficiency with a liver complaint.
If only we could find someone like your old nanny.
I'm afraid that's not realistic, my dear. Few women alive can manage Miss Andrews' standards of efficiency. Besides, we could never afford someone of her caliber.
Precision and order, he wants nothing less. It's like an army barracks.
Yes, and we're in the mess.
No wonder the nannies are driven insane. We're living in a madhouse. Cherry Tree Lane.
And now, Winifred, if you do want to please me...
Well, you know I do, George.
Very well. Then take out an advertisement in the Times stating that Jane and Michael Banks require the best possible nanny at the lowest possible wage.
You'd better give them all for free before they make another mistake.
And I was stressed. And
Father, what's that you're holding, dear?
We've written our own advertisement.
what on earth do you have?
George, I think we should hear it.
Now, Winifred, none of your theatrics.
It won't hurt to listen.
Wanted a nanny for 2 adorable children.
Adorable? Now, that's debatable, I must say.
If you want this choice position, have a cheery disposition. Rosy cheeks, no warts. That's what I put in. Play games, all sorts. You must be kind, must be witty, very sweet and very pretty.
For the ridiculous...
George, please.
Take us on outings, give us treats. Sing songs, bring sweets. Never be cross or cruel, never feed us fish or gruel. Love us as a son and daughter, and never smell a barley water.
That's quite enough Tommy rot for one day. Will you give me this advertisement? What on earth do we have here? Rosy cheeks. Play games. Give them candies and sweets. This is not a nursery game. This is real life. We must find you a proper nanny. All the ridiculous things, Winifred. We must take it on an advertisement looking for a proper English nanny to show our children how they should properly behave and to... Will you give me this? We're looking for a fairy godmother? No, we're looking for an English nanny. All the ridiculous... Will you please go upstairs and let me get to work?
They were only trying to help.
Well, it won't help anyone to make me late, now will it? Now, where's my hat?
Here, darling. Good morning.
Yes?
Well, I've come in answer to the advertisement.
Advertisement? What advertisement? We haven't taken out that advertisement. Not yet.
George and Winifred Banks live here, do they not?
Mr. and Mrs. Banks live here, yes.
And you are looking for a nanny?
Well, I suppose.
Very well, then. Now, let's see. Play games, all sorts, which I most certainly can. Take us on outings, give us treats.
Michael, it's advertisement.
Rosy cheeks and fairly pretty. Well, there's no objection on that score, I hope.
Oh, not at all.
Glad to hear it.
Only I don't handle that side of things. You must take it up with Mrs. Banks. Nothing domestic ever has anything to do with me. And don't forget the references.
I make it a rule never to give references. But I thought it was usual. An old-fashioned idea to my mind. The best people never require them now. Of course. Well, you shall have every third Thursday evening off from 5 until 9. The best people give every second Wednesday from 6 till late. And that is what I shall take. Oh, I see. Well, it's all settled then. As long as I am satisfied, I shall see the children now. Of course. You'll find they're very nice children. Now this is, Mary Poppins. Jane, don't stare. And close your mouth, Michael. We are not a codfish. Now, best foot forward, spit spot. Mrs. Brill, we have a new nanny. So she passed the interview then? Or I did. Very tidy. Tidier than I was expecting. Who's responsible for that?
Mrs. Brill. I am. I like to keep things neat.
Well, do you indeed? Well, I look forward to making use of that. If there's one thing I appreciate, it's a child whose word I can depend on. Well, who is she when she's at home?
That's Valentine. She's mine.
Well, from the look on her face, I'm not sure she'd agree with you.
She's just a doll, and I don't want to play with her now.
Well, treat her like that, and she might not want to play with you. Now, first things first. I always say the best place to hang a hat is on a hat stand.
There's nothing in it. We'd better keep an eye on this one. She's tricky. Mary Poppins, how could you know what we wanted in a nanny when we wrote our list?
Your list? Well, I am not an item in the weekly shop, thank you very much.
How did you come then? It was as if the wind was blew you here.
It did. Now stand over there. Just as I thought. A noisy, mischievous, troublesome little boy.
You're making that up. A noisy, mischievous trouble.
Now you. Thoughtless, short-tempered, and untidy.
I don't believe you. Let me see.
By the time the wind has blown, the weather vane around, I'll show you if I can. No matter what the circumstance, for one thing I'm renowned. My character is spit, spot, spick, and span.
What about your measurement, Mary Poppins?
I'm practically perfect in every way.
Practically perfect.
So people say, each virtue virtually knows no bound. Each trait is great and patently sound. I'm practically perfect from head to toe. If I had a fault, it would never dare to show. I'm so practically perfect in every way. Both prim and proper and never too stern. Well educated yet willing to learn. I'm clean and honest, my manner refined, and I wear shoes of the sensible kind. I suffer no nonsense, and whilst I remain, there's nothing else I feel I need explain. I'm practically perfect in every way. Practically perfect, that's my forte. Uncanny nannies are hard to find. Unique yet meek, unspeakably kind. I'm practically perfect, not slightly spoiled. Running like an engine that's just been freshly oiled. I'm so practically perfect in every way. Well, those are my credentials. Perhaps you have a few questions.
Not temperamental, not grouchy or gruff.
The very thought.
Will you say tender when the going gets tough?
Quite the contrary.
You read stories without a big fuss. Or have objections to playing with us.
I like games, but I choose them.
But that's not fair.
Some minor improvements may not go amiss, but at all times you must remember this.
You're practically perfect in every way.
I guarantee
Practically perfect. We hope you'll stay.
each virtue virtually knows no bound. Each trait is great
And patently sound.
Spit spot.
in every way. Now, best foot forward, spit spot.
Chim chim cheree, I does what I likes and I likes what I do. Today I'm a screever, and as you can see, a screever's an artist of highest degree, and it's all me own work from your memory.
Oh, Lummy, not these again.
Come on, Mr. Parkkeeper, it's just me pictures like it always is. There's no harm in 'em.
I'll be the judge of that. This is my park, and I say you're interfering with the public railing. And I want to remove this. That is... Just you watch it. That's all. Just you watch it.
Stay right where you are. I'd recognize that silhouette anywhere. Mary Poppins!
It's lovely to see you, Bert.
Well, you do look swell, if I may say so.
How's he know you? He can't know you. You've only just arrived.
Well, I wasn't born 1 minute before I walked into your house, Michael Banks. Well, have you met these two, Bert?
Well, I've seen them running around, chasing after a kite.
Is it a real kite?
Well, then what are you up to?
Mary Poppins says it's a game. It's called A Walk in the Park. Same game. I'd rather eat spinach.
Well, come on, Bert, you're due for a break. And you promised you'd take me out when we met again. Or have you forgotten?
Oh, well, of course, I ain't Mary, but...
Well, dear, is that all you've got? Well, never mind. It's my treat. Besides, no one's charging for the sky and the trees, are they?
Mary Poppins, is he really coming with us?
Why shouldn't he?
Well, to start with, he's very dirty, isn't he? Father would never approve.
What's that?
You can't come with us. You're too dirty. And you don't want to go to the stinky park anyway.
Oh, yes, you do. Because when you walk with Mary Poppins, you go to places you never dreamed of. And if she says it's a game, she's got something in mind. You can be certain of that.
That's a picture of the park, isn't it? That's not the park. Not our park, anyway. Look, that tree's a much brighter green, and the sky is quite a different blue.
I think you'll find it just the way I've drawn it. All that it takes is a spark. Then something as plain as a park becomes a wonderland. All you have to do is look anew, then you'll understand. Why, it's a jolly holiday, Mary. Mary makes your heart so light. When the day's grey and all is merry, Mary makes the sunshine bright.
Haven't the slightest idea.
Oh, happiness is blooming all around her. The daffodils are smiling at the dove.
You talk nonsense, Bert.
When Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band.
You've enough brass for all of us.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday, Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. Come along, you two.
Boring, just like other nannies thinking. Park's good for us. Just sandwiches up to the grannies. I don't understand all the fuss. Is she doing inspired us? Could lose for a while. Perhaps it's all a plot. I'll tell you what, she seems so
You are quite wrong, you know.
What? Who are you?
I'm Nelius, but surely you already know that. You sat beneath me long enough, haven't you? I have waited over half a century to take a walk in the park on a sunny day like this.
Ain't it a glorious day? Right as I'm morning in May.
I feel like I could fly.
Have you ever seen the grass so green or a bluer sky?
Oh, it's a jolly holiday, Mary. Better days I've never known.
You can ask the passers that vary.
Nothing's ever set in stone.
Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Constable.
Well, you do look tip-top, if I may say so, Mary.
Thank you, Bert. And you may.
Each man now with his dog will stand agog to see our statue take a gentle jog. Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we...
It's a jolly holiday with you, Bert. Gentlemen like you are few. Though you're just a diamond in the rough, Bert, underneath your blood is blue. You'd never think of pressing your advantage. For preference is the hallmark of your breed. A lady needn't fear when you are near. Your sweet gentility is crystal clear.
It's crystal clear.
Oh,
It's a jolly holiday with you, Bert. A jolly, jolly holiday with you. That's a jolly holiday with Mary. Mary makes your heart so light. It's a day is bright and ordinary. Mary makes the sunshine bright. Oh, happiness is flowing all around you. The daffodils are shining at the door. When Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band. Oh, it's a jolly holiday, Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. No wonder that it's Mary that we
Jane, did that really happen? Yes, but how?
Mary Poppins, of course.
How do you know Mary Poppins?
She's an old friend of my father's.
Your father? Your statue. You can't have a father.
Well, if that's true, why do I miss him so much?
Isn't he one of those other statues?
No. He lives far, far away from here.
Do you really miss him?
Wouldn't you miss your father if you hardly ever saw him?
I'll have to think about that.
That's it. That's it. That's what it was.
What?
This plate is half empty. A statue's missing.
Do you mean you've lost your marbles?
This is your fault, ain't it? I knew we should have trouble when you first arrived, and now we've got a statue missing. What? Oh, lummy.
Will you be playing with us again?
Well, of course. I'm not going anywhere.
Then we'll see you soon. Goodbye, Nelius.
Goodbye.
Julius must be so lonely. Could his father ever come to stay?
Well, yes, maybe.
How long will you stay?
We'll see.
You won't leave us, will you, Mary Poppins?
I'll stay till the wind changes. Now run along in.
Good night, Jane. Good night, Michael. Good night, Mary.
Good night, Bert.
Jane and Michael want to say goodnight.
Tell them you've given me the message.
George, please.
Oh, Teddy, we had a fantastic day. We sang with the buska, danced with the statue, and met Queen Victoria. You wouldn't have approved it,
Well,
but...
if you know that, then why didn't you do it?
Daddy, could I have a kite? A proper one?
Would you even know how to fly one?
You could always teach me.
Now, when would I have time to do that?
Daddy, who is the father of Nelius?
Will you please go upstairs and let me get on? Good night.
Poor Michael. All he thinks about is flying kites. And his beloved astronomy, of course.
Oh, I used to love astronomy when I was his age. Only my nanny, Miss Andrews, soon beat it out of me.
I suppose we do need a nanny, George. It is out of the question to do without one.
Don't be absurd. Of course we need a nanny. All the best people have nannies, so their wives can do charity work and entertain. Which reminds me, how is your tea party coming on?
I'm not sure. It seems so odd to send out invitations to people I hardly know.
But they are people you should know. Remember, by your friends shall ye be judged.
But that's the point. They're not my friends. Actually, I heard today from Clemmy Bunty. She's rehearsing a new play at the moment, and I thought I might ask
Winifred,
her...
I don't know how many times I must tell you. I wish you would sever all connection with that part of your life.
George, I was an actress. A lot of people might find that interesting. Though you always talk as if I should be ashamed of it.
Well, it's not exactly something to be proud of, now is it? Winifred, dearest, I'm only thinking of you. I want people to admire you, to respect you.
I know, George, but sometimes it's hard.
It's not hard. It's your job to be Mrs. Banks.
And what is your job?
To pay for everything. Dear. What is it?
Well, I was only going to kiss you.
Oh. All right. Winifred, are you going to say something to Mary Poppins this afternoon?
I don't think so.
Well, very well. Just make sure she's doing things our way and not hers. What good are rules if you can bend them?
We need a nanny who's disciplined and stern. With boys and girls, you don't befriend them. I fear that Mary Poppins has a lot to learn.
Being Mrs. Banks should be an easy role, and yet it's one which I don't seem too good at on the whole. I have a comfy home, I have a simple life, I have a name which tells the world I'm someone else's wife. Being Mrs. Banks, what does that entail? Facing tests of character, I always
his best people. Well, I'd like to say no thanks. It's not exactly my idea of being Mrs. Banks.
Precision and order. Swabbing the decks today, I see.
Gotta keep the street ship shape, Admiral.
Oh, so tell me, Bert, how are things aboard number 17? All smooth sailing with Mary Poppins, I trust.
Well, there's some rough weather on every voyage, Admiral.
Miss Clark, what those children need is a touch of the cat and a night on the yard arm.
What those children need, Admiral, is a touch of happiness.
Oh, my joke!
Now, Mrs. Brill, don't make the sandwiches too early. They'll get stale before the guests arrive.
Everything is under control, Mom.
And what about the cake?
Cooling on the tray, waiting to be iced.
And you're quite sure you know how to ice it?
Quite sure. And in case you're wondering, I was not exchanged by the fairies for a total nincompoop.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, well, I guess I'll just go up and check the drawing room.
I'd like to be helpful.
I'd like to be rich, but the good Lord thought otherwise.
Mother wants you in the drawing room.
Well, she can't have me. I got too much on me hands as it is.
She says you can tell Robert and I what to do.
Did she now? Well, why don't I go and have a smoke near the gas works for good measure?
Please, Mrs. Brill, I don't mind, honest.
All right. I'll give you one task and one task only, and so help me if you get it wrong, I'll sweep for you and sing as they pull the lever.
What is it?
Put the icing tools next to the cake. I'll need a bowl of hot water to warm them. I'll make the icing when I get back.
Icing tools, cake, hot water. I'll make the icing as soon as I'm back.
Do you think you can manage that?
Is that all?
For you, yes. For me, no. After the cake, there's the sandwiches to be made, because Madam wants them fresh, which means I can't start them until there's no time to finish them. I swear a slave in ancient Rome was on a pleasure cruise compared to my life in this house.
Well, don't just stand there, Robert and I.
Right. No.
What are you looking for?
A bowl for the water.
Michael, why don't we make the icing? Because we don't know how. Don't be so feeble and can't make the eggs. If Mrs. Brill can do it, it can't be that hard. Are there eggs in icing? There are in mine.
I don't think Mrs. Brill will thank you.
Then she will be guilty of great ingratitude. Is it supposed to look like this?
It doesn't look like that when Mrs. Brill does it.
Don't be so impertinent and get me the cake.
Honestly, Miss Jane, I'm just trying to be helpful. If you would allow me...
Mrs. Brill, it's time to go up and get... What's happened? What have you done? Robinson, I! Oh dear, should I call a doctor?
Well, I don't think that will be necessary.
Oh, how could you be so unkind when you know how important my party is? Oh, you both deserve some very nasty medicine. Just you wait until bedtime.
Well, I don't think they should wait until tonight. Why not go up and get dressed? We'll clear up, won't we?
But we're not ill. I won't take it, and you can't make me.
In that, as in so many things, your information is faulty. Now open.
But it's strawberry ice.
Now you.
I'm not sure I like strawberry ice.
I'm not sure that I care. Open.
Lime cordial.
Now, off we go, you two. Michael, I know how you like to keep things tidy. Jane.
I told you she was tricky. Must we can't let tonight do it when he wakes up? Here's the servant.
With that attitude, you'll make it through a lot of stuff before you're very old. Besides, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap. The job's a game, and every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake, a look, a spring. It's very clear to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way. Oh, my thoughts exactly. The honey bees, the fruit, the nectar from the flowers to the comb, ever tire of ever buzzing to and fro, because they take a little nip from every flower that they see, and hence they find their task is not a grind.
For a spoonful sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way.
Mary Poppins! You're a miracle worker. How did you get them to do it?
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
The medicine.
Go down, medicine go down.
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way.
So, just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
The medicine go down.
Medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Spot.
I'm sorry, Mom, but these came for you this morning, and Roberts and I forgot to give them to you. No apologies from your guests. They're not coming, none of them.
Do you think we chose the wrong day?
No, Mom, I think you asked the wrong people.
Oh.
Where are we going today?
Well, I thought we could play our next game.
What game?
I like to call it a visit to the bank.
That's not a game. Did Daddy agree? If he did, he must have put the idea in his head somehow.
What an impertinent thing to say. Me putting ideas into other people's heads. Really?
Decision and order, closing a meal, opening a ledger, closing a deal, proving investment, financial sense, a perfect ray of sunshine, pound shillings and pence.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning. Great men have dreams of power and position, and it's our job to back them to the hilt. For shrewd investment and advice, they'll pay our price. The bedrock on which banks are built. Banks, a word! I see Alvin Hustler is coming in again today. Have you made your decision?
I do believe so, sir.
Good, good. Be sure it's the right one.
Every transaction, credit or debt, sheets are all well balanced, targets are met.
Now, banks, what objections can you have? My security is more than adequate, and in Latin America is an expanding market. What's the matter? Have you no courage?
Mr. Von Hustler, what I haven't been able to grasp is, what exactly is your final product?
What do you think? Money, of course.
Yes, money. But I wonder, making money out of money, is that enough?
Are you man enough to be a banker? A man has dreams of building an empire to make his name in many distant lands. And in the new world, I am told, will soon strike gold. Let's seize the chance with both our hands.
Assessing the market, limit the risk, live to room the error. Business is brisk.
Have you come to your decision, Mr. Banks? There's a town of good people whose future depends on you.
Yes, I know that.
Give us a chance. You won't. Factory could be up and running in weeks and expanding before the year's out. Please, Mr. Banks, I give all God. You've got to believe me.
I do believe you, Mr. Northbrook, and I've tried to find a way, but there just isn't the collateral.
But what about my workforce? Decent men who want a better life. They're my collateral. My men have dreams to earn an honest living, a wife and kids, a home to call their own. If you'd invest in us today, it paves the way. I promise we'd repay the loan.
I'm sorry, Mr. Northbrook. What on earth are you doing here? Can't you see I'm busy?
No, we're done. And no man should ever be too busy for his own children. And what are you coming today for, young man? Have you come looking for some money as well?
Hardly. What would they need money for?
Well, I've found it's never too early to learn its value.
I know the value of this. 6 pence.
No, that's its worth. Its value is what you do with it. Invest wisely, and you may be lucky.
What do you say to Mr. Northbrook?
Thank you.
I'll wait outside.
What is the meaning of this, Mary Poppins, really? I'm not without a sense of humor.
Aren't you, Daddy?
No, I'm not. But when I was a little boy, I would have never dared interrupt my father.
Were you ever a little boy?
I most certainly was. But my nanny, Miss Andrew, kept me out of my father's way. And he would have been very annoyed if she hadn't.
What about your mother?
I don't suppose I saw either of them more than once a week.
Didn't they mind?
Mind? They were happy to be rid of me.
Then who kissed you goodnight? Miss Andrew?
Certainly not. We had no time for hugs and kisses and all that soppy nonsense. What's the matter?
Poor Daddy.
Poor? What do you mean, poor? That's what made me the man I am today. Eh, Mary Poppins?
Well, yes, I'm afraid it did.
Well, you've seen how I work. I have a great deal to do.
When you invest the bank's money, what are you looking for? A good man or a good idea?
Suppose I should say a good idea, but a good man is much rarer and much more valuable.
Come along, children.
Mr. Von Hustler, I've considered your arguments, but I'm afraid that the answer is no.
So you don't recognize a good idea?
Perhaps not, but I recognize a good man when I see one.
You will regret this, Herr Banks.
A man has dreams that life hasn't broken. A man with hopes, ambitions to fulfill. A man you're certain at first glance deserves a chance.
Mr. Northbrook, when exactly can you have your factory open?
Thank you, Mr. Banks. You won't regret it.
The birds, tuppence a bag, tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag.
There's that horrible old woman.
Well, don't point. And for your information, she is not in the least bit horrible.
But she's just a bundle of rags.
When will you learn to look past what you see? And each day to the steps of St. Paul's, the little old bird woman calls. In her own special way to the people she calls.
Come, buy my bags full of crumbs. Come feed a little bird, show them you care, and you'll be glad if you do. Their young ones are hungry, their nests are so bare. All it takes is tuppence from you. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag, tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag.
Feed the birds, that's what she cries, while overhead her birds fill the sky.
What are you doing? I'm going to give her my sixpence. What a waste.
Well, that's a matter of opinion. Here, one bag, please. Save your sixpence. All around the cathedral, the saints and apostles look down as she sails her way. Although you can't see them, you know they are smiling each time someone shows that he cares.
she's calling to you. Feed the birds, tuppence a bird. Tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bird.
All gone.
Tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a
What's that? You don't say. Oh, well, here she is now. You can tell her yourself.
Miss Lockstone Willoughby?
Well, don't interrupt when someone's barking. What was that? Really? Well, if she keeps running off like that, perhaps we should put her on a lead. Well, here she comes now. It's okay, Mommy's here. Why, you'd almost think he could talk.
Bertie, can Willoughby really talk?
Well, of course he can. Getting him to stop. Now, that's the problem.
How do you learn to talk dog?
Well, how do you think? You master the grammar
Practice when you can.
and avoid mongrels.
Far too much slang.
Now, I can't stand here all day talking shop.
Talking shop? What's a silly expression?
Well, there's nothing silly about it in the least.
What do you buy in a talking shop?
Conversations, of course.
Well, I've never seen a talking shop.
Well, that's because there is only one, and it belongs to Mrs. Corey.
Who's Mrs. Corey?
Who's Mrs. Corey? Miss Corey is older than anyone in the world. She talked to William before he went conquering, to Vlad before he went impaling, and to Alexander when he weren't so great.
We'll have to call on her at her shop in the park.
There's no shop in the park.
Remember, anything can happen if you let it.
I'm all out of conversations.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Corey.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Mary Poppins and Jane and Michael Banks.
She knows us?
And how is poor little Georgie?
Who?
Well, Georgie Banks, your father. He used to give his nanny the slip and come into my shop in secret.
But you have to have been the same George Banks. That would have been 40 years ago. And no one can remember back that far.
Listen, dearie, I remember everything. I remember your father used to love my gingerbread. I wonder if we have any left. Annie, Fanny, look lively.
Yes, Mother.
Ah, there you are. Gingerbread pieces with gingerbread stars. Georgie always saved his stars. Now, Mary Poppins, what can I do for you?
Well, I did want an ounce of conversations.
I'm all out of conversations. Right out of words, too. You see, I've had a lot of chatterboxes in here today. But let me see what I have left. Oh. I do have some letters and a little bit of back chat. And aren't you say? That'll be 15 letters. Go on, take your pick.
Jane, you can choose 7.
I've got D, G, R, U, C, L, and I. They're no good. You've got to make a conversation out of them.
Michael, 7 more.
A, F, S, E, T, O, and P.
And I'll choose an X. Now, what words can we make?
Well, I see dog and cat.
Multiplex. That's 9.
A Lapidopteris. That's 11, nearly there.
Those don't count. You made them up.
And where do you think words come from in the first place? Somebody had to make them up.
And remember, we can always use the same letters more than once. Now let's see. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That's not a word.
Well, of course it's a word. And unless I'm very much mistaken, it's going to prove a rather useful one. When trying to express oneself, it's frankly quite absurd to leaf through lengthy lexicons to find the perfect word. A little spontaneity keeps conversation keen. You need to find a way to say precisely what you mean. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Exactly what you want. When Stone Age men were chatting, simply grunting would suffice.
Although if they had this word, they might have used it once or twice.
I'm sure Egyptian pharaohs would have grasped it in a jiff. Then every single pyramid would bear this hieroglyph. Ow! Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Say it and what animals will not seem so ferocious.
Absent for the flourishes, it's so precocious.
Ha 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 ha!
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
The Druids could have carved it on their mighty modernism.
The ancient Greeks, I'm certain, would have used it in their myths.
I'm sure the Roman Empire only entered the abyss because those Latin scholars never had a word like this. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If you say it softly, the effect can be obnoxious.
Check your breath before you speak in case it's halitosis. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Of course you can say it backwards, which is Zilligan Zilligarphilocrepus.
She may be tricky, but she's bloody good.
The cat has got your tongue, there's no need for dismay. Just summon up this word and then you've got a lot to say.
Pick out those 18 consonants and 60 vowels well, and put them in order that is very hard to spell.
SUPERLIFRAGILISTICEXPIALID.
My pants? The winds do blow, but who's to know exactly what they're bringing? Good news or bad, happy or sad, the pendulum keeps swinging.
Alright! The steps right there and stand back. You're not to come near this vase, nor no one else but me neither. This is a heirloom.
Heirloom.
While I do this, stay totally immobile.
Immobile.
Do not move a muscle.
Muscle.
Do not breathe. Do you hear me?
I might as well be dead.
Don't give me any ideas.
A game is played, a change is made, but still the road is long. And though they might yet fly a kite, sometimes the wind's too strong.
George, what's happened? Are you ill?
No, must I be?
Well, of course not, but why on earth are you home so early? Is everything all right?
No, everything's all wrong.
Oh dear, well what is it?
Well, if you must know, I refused some German chap a loan. It seems he went to our chief rival. They gave him the money, and now it's turned into a gold mine.
Well, they can't expect you to get it right every time.
Can't they? That's exactly what they do expect.
Oh, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough,
That's
you'll...
quite loud enough. Now go up to your room.
But we were just...
I don't care what you adjust. Upstairs. Now. Where's my briefcase? I put it just here. Michael, Jane, you give it to me! Must I put up with this behavior? You're the mother, why can't you do something?
Well, I can try not shouting for a start.
Mary Poppins, you're their nanny. You're supposed to teach them manners. Just look at them, a pair of little savages. If I had my way, you'd be out of this house by...
George, you're tired. Mary Poppins, please don't bring the children down tonight. I'm afraid Mr. Banks is quite exhausted. Perhaps you could keep them occupied?
I hope you haven't forgotten that tonight is my night off.
Oh dear, I had forgotten. I suppose even the best people wouldn't ask you to change your plans?
No, ma'am, they wouldn't.
I thought not.
It's not that. Daddy loses his temper and we're shut up in the nursery. Daddy's mean and run, and I hate him.
Jane, take that back this instant. I will not have you criticize your father.
Why not? He criticized you. Last week he said that you were neither use nor ornament.
How dare you?
I heard him say it, and so did you.
Well, sometimes people say things they don't mean. Mary Poppins, please take the children upstairs. George.
What is it?
I thought you might like to talk about it.
What would be the point?
Perhaps I could help.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm serious, George. If you have troubles, I'd like to share them.
Don't worry. You will. The fact is, I've been suspended from the bank without pay until they figure out what to do with me.
Twists and turns, ups and downs. One moment smiles, next moment frowns. But bad-tempered faces had better change quick. The wind changes, the face might just stick. Chim chimney, chim chim, chiree chim charoo.
It's not fair. You're going out and we got left on our own.
Well, you've plenty of toys to play with.
I don't want to. They're boring.
Well, they might say the same about you.
Why does Daddy get so cross? Fathers are supposed to look after their children, not yell at them all the time.
Well, have you ever thought of who cares for the fathers when things go wrong?
The mothers, I suppose.
Not the children.
Wouldn't that be rather upside down?
Sometimes families are upside down. For a while, anyways.
I don't want to be an upside down family. I wish I could run away. Why don't you? Somebody might adopt you, but you'd miss me. No, I wouldn't. I could have your toys. No, you could not. Yes, I could. And I jolly well would. Give that to me. Now look what you've done.
Well, that is no way to treat Valentine. Now off to bed, you two.
But we haven't had our milk.
There will be no buts and no milk either. If you can't be good, you may as well be sorry.
I wish you'd just leave us alone.
Be careful what you wish for. Now go in and make yourself presentable.
Well, I won't go to bed. And you can't make me.
In that, as in so many things,
Your information
is faulty. Are you feeling any better, Valentine?
Oh, well, much better, thank you. But they tore my arm again.
Dear, children who lose their tempers will lose everything else in the end.
Please tell them, Mary Poppins.
Why don't you tell them?
What's going on? What happened to the toys? Make them all go small. Get back in that box.
Well, you've hurt them and called them names. Now it's their turn. Summon the toys. Now is the time to tell of your world, to tell of their cry.
Cry!
Come on, into the fray. They need to hear what you have to say.
hardly no day, hardly no night. There's things off in shadows and off way in light. On the rooftops of London. Phew! What a sight!
So you're asleep now, are you?
Best view in the world, eh? And who gets to see it? The birds, the stars, and the chimney sweeps. Nothing to beat it, eh? Now as the ladder of life has been strung, you may think a sweeps on the bottomless rung. Though I spend me time in the ashes and smoke, in this whole wide world there's no acme alone.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chimney. A sweep is as lucky can be. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chimney. Good luck will rub off when he shakes hands with you.
Or blow me a kiss, and that's lucky too. So you're going, King?
The winds have changed.
But they're good kids, Mary.
Would I be bothering with them if they weren't? But there's no one so hard to teach as a child who thinks he knows everything.
So?
So, they've got to do this next bit on their own.